Good Friday morning to you. I'm Heather Brown. This is CBS News, Minnesota's morning update. So you're going to want to grab that coffee, grab that winter coat if you are just about to head out the door, or if you're already out there. You know what I'm talking about. That wind, that cold and windy doesn't even do it justice. The 31 there on your screen at noon. Oof, this morning feeling like 7 degrees outside with that fierce wind. Riley tells us it's a little bit better. The winds are a little bit less today than they were yesterday, but they're still pretty strong. You get that sunshine though, that'll help. But be sure it's not time yet to bring out that spring jacket quite now. So let's talk about this because it's Friday. It's also a holiday weekend for a lot of people there. Of course, it is Good Friday today, just ahead of Easter. Passover begins tonight for Jewish families. So you know what we want to do? We want to talk about what you're doing, what you're up to. Let's talk about good things that are happening in your life. Let's give us some positivity. Let's have you share. Tell us what your weekend plans are. Tell us if you're getting together with friends or with family, or tell us something cool that maybe you did this week. I'd love to hear all about it. If you're watching here on Facebook, leave a comment and then we'll read through a couple of those in just a moment. It sure was a rough night out on the roads heading into this busy travel weekend. Now we do have some more details about what happened in Hudson early this morning. We know that a jackknife semi caused this big backup that you see right there. That was 94 right at the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. The traffic was stopped for just about an hour. That happened right before 1 this morning. Then in Fridley, you had 3 cars colliding overnight. This is 694 East, right near Central. That one backed up traffic as well. You can see the cars there on the side. They had to take the Main Street exit to be able to get around it. We did check in with the State Patrol. They said thankfully no one was really hurt in that crash, but we know these strong winds causing more issues on the road. Look at this. I just think this is incredible, right? They're able to pull that semi back up onto the road. This is video that MnDOT shared with us. This is their crews helping tipped over semi trucks. That's how strong the winds were yesterday and the day before. Not too much better today. This is just north of Granite Falls, and thankfully everybody is okay. But ooh, team effort on that one. Gusts of wind also making it tough out at the airport. You know, it's hard to de-ice when you can't get up in those trucks, so windy. But, you know, takeoffs, landings are tough in this wind. In fact, the airport says that all the aircraft only had to use, just one runway. So that meant that some of those flights out there were delayed or canceled. So if you're heading out of town this weekend, be sure to check ahead with them. Minneapolis students can stop wearing masks next week. The school district just announcing its decision to lift their mask mandate. So this will start on Monday. And they're telling us it's all because of a new framework coming down from the CDC. Also, the rate of COVID declining in the city of Minneapolis. Now, students can, and staff, they can wear a mask if they want to. St. Paul schools announcing earlier in this week that they were dropping their mask requirements on Monday as well. So kids between 5 and 11 may soon be eligible for a COVID booster shot. Pfizer planning to submit for emergency use authorization. They're telling us that the results from a study revealed that in a 3rd vaccine dose in that age group, because remember they have to get 2, does show a high immune response. Companies say that the boosters were well tolerated with no new safety risks. So the plan for them is to request FDA authorization in the coming days. Also, a breathalyzer for COVID has been given the EUA authorization as well by the FDA. It's called Inspect IR. It's kind of the size of a small piece of luggage. You can use it in doctor's offices, hospitals, mobile testing sites. And they say that the device is more than 91% effective at identifying people who do have COVID. So a nice another tool to be able to test there as well. Local business is teaming up with the county sheriff to send drivers a big message. This all started with complaints about cars just speeding down Highway 169 in Jordan. And they tell us it's been a bigger issue in recent months. So Minnesota's largest candy store, you know it if you've been down that way, the big yellow silo. Look at that sign there. Slow down, there's a cop hiding behind you. They created this sign. This is on the other side. So this is if you're going northbound. Shh. I'm waiting for a speeder here. You'll see there is an empty police car there just waiting for you. So you can see those 2 different areas. The signs put out there. Also be patrols out there looking for speeders. The Scott County Sheriff Luke Hennon, we talked with him, and he says this is just really kind of a creative way to remind drivers to slow down.
I think sometimes law enforcement gets put in a box of it's simply enforcement or transactional, and really it is community-based. And as a county sheriff, I embrace that.
So that sign will remain up for the next week while several agencies will patrol in that area, and they'll be on the lookout for the speeders. So we know prime bird feeding season this time of year, and if you usually put out the feeder or the bird bath, experts say, not the best idea right now. U of M Raptor Center recommending that they go away for the next few months. We know a lot of people love them, especially when it's tough for those birds to get food this time of year. But the center is saying that anything that helps gather birds together may help the spread of the bird flu. Right now, that outbreak impacting at least 1.8 million birds here in Minnesota. We know it is spreading fast. There is a federal team here to help us control the virus. The state has also set aside $1 million to help out too. Here's an update to a story that we were talking about yesterday morning. You remember the fight on the ice, on the wild ice, has turned into a big donation for kids in Minnesota thanks to Wild fans. NHL was fined Ryan Hartman $4,000 for flipping off the bird during an opponent during the Tuesday game there. Hartman said at the time that the fine was, quote, well worth it. Well, the fans agreed. So they then got together, found Hartman's Venmo account, sent him money so he could cover that $4,000 fine. Hartman now saying, right, that he is paying that $4,000 fine out of pocket, but the fans, though, they raised more than $7,000, and all of that's going to go straight to Children's Minnesota. So really cool effort by Minnesota Wild fans there and Josh Hartman. Pop star Olivia Rodrigo made her Twin Cities debut at the Armory in Minneapolis last night, and the reviews are now in. That was a sold-out show. It's been sold out for a long time now. The Star Tribune music critic, John Bream, says that this 19-year-old handled herself like a seasoned pro. I mean, she's been in this a long time, right? He said that she made all the right moves. Also, he said that she stopped for emergencies in the audience. So, you know, that's been talked about recently. Rodrigo sang all 11 songs from her album debut, Sour, and also added in a few others. So good show for the people who showed up, and thousands of them sure did. These fans right here, yep, they're camping out because they started lining up at 11 o'clock the night before the concert. So like 24 hours before, or 22, I guess. These fans already did have tickets, but they sort of took on the cold weather, all those blankets and tents out there, because they wanted to be the first in the door to be front and center.
I didn't expect it to be this bad. It was kind of the worst around like 6 a.m.
We've been waiting all night, and it's super cold. No, we did not expect the weather to be like this, but we would do anything for Olivia.
You sure? We did not expect the weather to be like this either, so fans told us that the snow and cold was all worth it, and they would do it all over again. You know, they're never going to forget that experience for sure. All right, let's go back to today's talker. We want to see your good news. We want to know what you are up to. And Maggie May, or you know what, let's start with Diana saying something good was that everyone was safe after the wild weather this week, right? Exactly. There were downed trees, popped out windows, torn shingles, but all were safe. Diana, that's a really great way to look at it. And let's, you know, keep our fingers crossed for the rest of the month out here in Minnesota. You also have Carrie sending in to us, looking forward to hosting Eat Your Brunch for my family on Sunday. Yeah, we're headed over to my mother-in-law's, everyone going to grandma's, so that'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that too. Maggie May also sent us one, and she says, I'm in the choir at church and we have a big singing weekend come up. Of course you do, right? So she's been drinking herbal tea with a spoonful or two of honey in it. Delicious, she says. I'm sure that it is, and very helpful to that singing voice. Everybody, you know, just have a great weekend, whatever you choose to do. If you just want to snuggle up inside, nobody would blame you. This is your morning update from CBS News Minnesota. It's great to be with you here today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here on Monday.